I'm glad you said it because when I was in prison, I read a lot of books. Now, then would you tell, you know what city I'm talking about, even though it's not a city. I didn't get no car. And you can look this guy up. He used to own LA Kings, the hockey team. At that time, Wayne Gretzky was one of his players. He ended up getting a federal case. I was down in Milan, Michigan. He came down there. Another white guy was cool with because I'm going to the law library also. He started coming to the law library. Now, mind you, this man is a billionaire. I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know who the hell Wayne Gretzky is. But when people started telling me, say, man, you know who that dude is? You know who that dude is? I got up money because he always be out there walking around with the Italians. I was cool with some Italians. I went out there and just started kicking him. So every day now, me and this dude going out to the walking at night. Some of the stuff he's saying, I didn't understand, but it was that networking. I'm out on a visit one time with my family. He out there with his family. I don't know about the Red Wings, the hockey team from Detroit. Mr. Elish out there. I didn't know this dude owned all these piece of places. I don't know he owned Little Caesar. I don't know none of this shit. He introduced him to me and his family. And I didn't know what I had. But if he'd have seen me on the compound being a prick, he would never talk to me. But guess what happened? Them guys from the one city that always causing confusion, they started pressing the man. They started pressing him. So what they did, they took him out the compound call. They were putting so much heat on him instead of trying to get with him. They started trying to press the man. So they ended up sending him down to a place called Morgantown. It's in West Virginia, Morgantown. I think it's like a camp or something. They got him out the compound. But dude, you had access to a billionaire. But people, they be so used to being predators and preying on people. Like I tell these guys here, sometimes just shut up and listen. Because successful people talk a lot. They love giving up information because it makes them feel good. But when you think you know every goddamn thing, they ain't going to say nothing. They would talk. They would talk you and tell you how to get some money. You shut up and listen.
Yes.
Just be quiet for a second.
Yeah.
And I learned that art. I want to be the dumbest person, like you said. When I walk in that room, I want to be, if it's 20 people, I want to be number 20.
Yeah.
I want to be the dumb if I can keep going up. And then when I get around people, I sit back, don't talk. I say, okay. Then I ask a lot of questions later on. Then I start calling people, because I'm going to take your number down. Because a lot of times, I get the information and still don't process it. Like last week, I was on the phone talking to a guy. He on a behavioral health agency. Somebody turned me on to him. I called him. We talked for like 3 hours. 85% of the shit went over my head. But I got enough information from him. He told me what I need to do, how to make some money by getting contracts with him. That easy. That's why I said with you, with behavioral health agencies, right? You can sit there and start a after-school program in your city. Once you get with them and network them, they would have you go out in the community, get some students in the school system that might be IEP. So they already in the system. So now them being in the system, well, I'm going to tell you when we get off here. And it's that simple, but these people put him on. This dude, his company made $18 million last year. Now, he didn't bring it, take it home, but he got a profit and a nonprofit. And he telling me all this stuff. I'm like, wow. So I've been working on this for like 6 months. The young lady who do the billing for Medicaid, Medicare, she came up here to see me. I gave her my package. I done had 40 kids, right? Signed up. And they ain't even started yet. She took the information. Each kid, you going to sit there and make, well, as a whole, like $250 to maybe $300 per child. You get a percentage. Just say they get 60, you get 40, or whatever percentage they want to give you. 5 days a week. Now you add that up. So if you got that many kids attending, they're like 400-something a year. But that's for me listening. That's for me talking to the right people. And that's for people trust me enough to put me around these people. Like I tell people, I don't kiss nobody, but none of this shit. I just listen, be respectful to everybody. If I walk out this building right now, if I see 40 people, hey, how you doing? 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 I go to the gym now, everybody waving. They see me coming through. People just waving on the treadmill. because I talk to everybody. I talk to everybody who worked there.
Yeah.
And I don't have a long conversation. Hey, how you doing, man? Have a blessed day. Happy New Year. Because that might change somebody's life, but people also watching that. So, you know what? That's a good young man right there. Every time he come, he speaks to everybody. He be cordial, he be nice. So they might have an opportunity for me. Then you got dudes walking around mean mugging all day. I'm scared of you, bro.
Yeah.
And then for one, you're black.
Yeah.
So I'm scared. Like I live in the suburbs. I have no problem. One of the barbers came over my house one day. I had bought some protein powder for him because I went to Costco's and I got him 2 things of protein. I got on my phone neighbor number 1, number 2, number 3. So neighbor number 2 called, hey neighbor, there's a big black guy in your backyard. He went in your truck. Because my mom about 6 foot, about 230. I said, no, I told her, I said, I appreciate it. But he let me know. I don't like, look, bro, I got 5 old schools at my house. Because I got a 5.5 car garage. I got a 1970 Chevelle 454 LS5. I got a 69 Bumblebee. It's yellow and black. I got a 442. I got a GTO. And I got a Le Mans coupe in that garage in back. Man, I ain't even got a, damn, I'm about to whisper. I ain't even got an alarm on my garage.
Yeah.
I don't even have an alarm on her. No. A guy just offered me $90,000 for my Chevelle. I told him no, because I know I can get well over 100. Then I got the bill of sale, all the paperwork. I ain't saying it's 100% original, but it's in original form. They only made 3,500 of them vehicles, but they only made 321 tricentennial gold. I got a GTO. I got a 442. I got a Bumblebee that you seen on the movie. 69. All these cars are original state. Original Jackson, all that stuff. Original rims. I might have $600,000 to $700,000 worth of vehicle in my backyard. I don't even have to lock my garage. No alarm on it. In the hood, I'd be afraid to drive one of them cars home.
Yeah.
I go out of town. I don't worry about if somebody gonna break into my house. Cause now they trust me enough. When I first moved in, I'm gonna let you tap in on this. When I first moved in, I'm gonna say my block maybe 99% white. I know it's an older black guy living down the street, might be late 80s, and an older lady across the street from me, she like late 70s. Neighbor never spoke to me. But as soon as I got the house, I start remodeling it. I'm doing the outside, I'm doing the landscaping. I put up a big privacy fence. They see trucks coming. So one day, me and my girl and my partner, we out front, and she doing the flowers and stuff. He come over and said, knew my name. Never talked to the man. Said my name, said, I appreciate you taking care of the property. I'm looking like, my girl get offended because she thought it like some racist shit. Why you gonna say that? I'm like, no, it's cool. That mean he looking. I said, think well, he knew my fucking name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, they put me on an investigation soon. I pulled up. Who bought this house? Then he came over there. Now, hey, we like this now. Hey, I haven't shoveled my snow in close to 15 years and haven't cut my grass in 15 years. When his kids out there cutting grass, they got to hit mine. If it's a snowstorm when I wake up in the morning, they already plowed it. I haven't did none of that. I got all that equipment in my garage and my storage. I haven't touched none of that stuff in 15 years. That's the community I'm in. In the hood, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people, get off that black and white thing.
Yeah.
We are human beings. We all come from God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
and that's the power of that.
I more than a racial thing, I would say it's more of a class thing. You know, we talk about
Right.
class and people. And like you said, I got a couple old schools at my house, but whenever I have the cars outside, people pull up, conversation. I'm at the gas station. Hey, man, pop your hood. What you got? And it's like people see that. They don't see a black guy with a Chevelle. They just see a person with a nice car. And, it's conversation. Right. And, you talking about cars, which is one of my passions. That's what opened up a lot of doors for me. I used to be in LA. I would be driving my Chevelle. I've had cops pull me over. I got a 69 Chevelle, man. What do you got in yours? Man, he got traffic blocked off. Me and the white cop talking, chopping it up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Cool. I done had that happen a bunch of times, man. One cop I'm driving, he said, "Hey, man, that's a badass car," and he said, "Your left tail light, man, it's out." I said, "Thanks, man. Cool as a fan." But like when
Yep.
you carry yourself and you put out a certain energy, people respond to that energy. You know what I mean? They feed off that energy. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
how you talk to people, how you address people, and even my neighborhood, same thing as yours, 99%, white. I'm probably a black guy, and I think I see one when I walk with my dogs. I got two little white little Maltipus. I be walking them every night. And but Amazon packages, ain't nobody stealing, everybody over here cool. It's a very nice, respectable neighborhood. Everybody's cool. I mean, this is the type of place you want to live in. You don't want to have to live in a place where I got to have my strap walking from my car to my door,
Right.
worrying about
Right.
somebody follow me home and, or, something happening when I'm out of town. And it's like, people think like that should become normal. And going back to what we were talking about earlier, and I meant to touch on is that a lot of people don't realize, like, dude, do you want your kids and your family to be in an environment where they have to worry about looking over their shoulder? You don't want that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have to. And one thing I used to always respect about the mafia, the dudes, I remember I heard an Italian guy say, I can't remember what it was on, but he's like, my mom could walk home in a fur coat and pearls and nobody would touch her. They don't,
Right.
you know what I mean? They don't do that. But and like you said, in the hood, everybody's a victim. It don't matter. The Amazon guy
Yep.
delivering, the pizza guy, the person over here. It's like, dude, where's your mentality at? But you can't go
Mm-hmm.
over there. I'm gonna tell you right now, you can't certain things you can't change. I believe there's a divide. You got that, and then you have people over here with sense, and that's just how it is. You would be sacrificing yourself if you went over there and tried to speak sense, because that's not going to change. That's just how it is. And it's sad,
Yep.
but it's a reality, because I see it, man. I like see these dudes. I'm like, man, I'm not going to go in there and them dudes going to be like, old head out. We'll take your head off. We ain't trying to hear that.
Right.
So you got to be discerning. Just like he said, you carry yourself a certain way, you do certain things. People watch you. Oh, Tyrone, man, that dude, yeah, man, he got the old school, take care of property, got this and that. And dude, next thing you know, he been watching for a year. Hey, Tyrone, man, he popped in your barbershop and offer you opportunity, but he making sure that he's not inviting bad apples to his circle. You know what I mean?
Right.
They do background checks, man. People check all your stuff. They
Yes, they
don't
do.
Google you, know what you were locked up for, what you were doing. And then by the time
Mm-hmm.
you have that meeting for that deal, whether it's in whatever business, they got a whole, how long you've been married, if you got kids. They do all that, because when you talk about getting into their world, they have to be careful, but they have to take precautions. And that's the difference in the hood. You let anybody. You know what I mean? You go,
Right.
you messing with this broad and her baby daddy, he a cold killer. Now you messing with her,
Right.
that you with her, he's a jealous dude. You got to pay attention, man.
Yep. And I'm glad you said it, because by me really getting into the cars, always been into cars. This how, because I got a 70 Le Mans coupe. The Le Mans kind of look like the GTO. So it had a 350 in it. I drove it to a car show, but I'm cool with the other older white guys. They got Chevelle, they got Monte Carlo. One guy in my neighborhood got a Monte Carlo, a Grand Prix. He made it a convertible, 69. He made his own convertible on it. Only two in the country like that. So I meet him at the car show. It might be like 75% white, because this car show are people who really got real classic cars. It ain't that shit jumping up and down and the big rims. So we talking and talking and talking. He coming to and say, hey, you want to turn your Le Mans coupe into a GTO? I'm like, I don't know. He said, well, my friend over there got what was it? Beyond, I can't remember. I think it's a 440. But he had the engine, he had the hood, and he had the back tail and the trunk. He said, all you got to do is take that off. I was like, how much do he want? Hey, man, you'll be shocked what this man gave it to me for. He had it for like 20-some years. It was on the stand. I gave him my 350 for that engine, and I gave all together. We swapped the engines. He gave me the hood and all that stuff. He took my hood and stuff, because they were gonna resell it. I think I gained like $3,000, and they installed it
Mm.
for the networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that wasn't me. That was the white guy. They in the late 60s, early 70s. They just like me. They in my neighborhood. That's how I met them. They seen my GTO in the backyard. Dude come knock on the door like, I went back to the street. Shit like, damn, that might be the police. He like, I'm looking around the shade like, two little white dudes on my porch. Like, so I go back there and tell my girl, like, man, two little white dudes on the porch. She said, well, I'm like, shit, I don't know what they going. And I ain't even doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I go around the back, like, what's up? They said, how you doing, sir? He said, we're just walking past. Can we look at your car? I said, oh, sure. Then I met them dude. They went back there and looked at the car. They said, we got some car. But no, he gave me a telephone number. We talked. A couple of days later, I called him, was he at home? I went around and he took me out there to a pole barn. And like 15 cars out there, him and his homie got. And they got race cars. And that's how you network, because at first I still was kind of nervous because I never really been around a lot of white people, even though I have my daughter is white. But when you're around them, any pole barn, they got the little cannabis, they drinking liquor, it's different for me. And then I found myself one day, Sonya got mad at me like, hey, she said, you know what? You's a black racist. I said, why is that? She said, you don't deal with black people no more. Then you always got some negative side. I said, I'm speaking the truth. She said, yes. She said, no, you was wrong for following them kids. She said, I seen you in the ring camera. I said, what you talking about? So what happened? It was a racist stuff. I'm coming out the backyard. I see like my 4 or 5 little black kids riding by on the bikes. I'm like, can I say the N word?
Yeah.
Like, man, where the little nigga going?
Yeah.
So get in the car, they going straight. So I go around this one curve on another block. And I'm going real slow like a black Karen. And I'm looking like, man, where these motherfuckers going? I follow them all the way down the street from another street watching them. Then they kept going. They turned down a main street called South Detroit and went up to Glendale like they're going toward the park. I was like, thank you, Jesus. And I got home and I really thought about it, like, damn, dude, you was on some racist shit. You turned into a black Karen. I really follow them in my new community.
Yeah.
Because I told myself, I don't want to see them. And it's bad. So I had to reprogram myself, say, man, everybody deserves to be out here.
Yeah. Well, you want to give, I always say, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt until they show you otherwise.
Right.
And,
right.
The gym I go to, there's not a lot of brothers. And so I always make it a thing when I see another brother make eye contact to try to say what's up. But when I see the dudes walking through there, there was a dude last night, he kind of tall. He had his little chain on with his little diamond, and he walks through the gym with his shorts with his tights underneath. And, I'm like, dude, look, man, you ain't got to walk like you're the big black, what do you call Mandingo in here, all the little white women, you know what I mean? Because it's all white, you know what I mean? And there's maybe 4 brothers in there at any one given time. And so, when I see that, I'm like, dude, come on, man. You know what I mean? You ain't got to act like that. But that's them. Like some dudes get in places and they act really bougie. You know what I mean? And then some brother, you see them and they like in the same position like we are, like, hey man, you out here. So we both try to get up. We both on the same program. But I done seen it both ways. I done went to car shows, seen brothers with Lambos, and they get over. I'm like, hey man, that's cool Lambo. Huh. Oh, right. Man, he look at me like I got poo-poo in my mouth because he wants to be the only black guy that's cool, Right. And so we got all these little things going on in our culture, man. And like I said, whenever I go places and I know it's an upper class place and there's not a lot of us, if I seen you at Pebble Beach or at a Concourse show, I'm going to come up and talk to you because obviously you're on the same page. So if you have enough sense or intelligence to be at an event like this or at an art gallery, I know that you're different. You know what I mean? So I can make the connection. And that's what you got to look for, man. You look to connect with people who have similar interests that you can learn from and maybe network with, man.
Right. Because I always look at people, whatever I want to do, I find the people who gonna automatically be my mentors.
Yeah.
Cause like I said, when I got into the cars, cause I always loved cars. Me and my brother, my father. But once I really, cause don't forget, I got locked up in '89, so a Chevelle and all them cars really ain't old school. They were getting discarded back in the '80s. Cause
Yeah.
in front of 70, 10 years old, people didn't know they're gonna be these classics. So when I came home, and started seeing these cars, and I got into them, I love that culture cause they think differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I was going to some of the black car shows, I'm leaving like, man, they got 20 City, they got loud music thumping. Are they gonna follow me home, take my car, I'm gonna get carjacked? When I go to them shows, man, I can sit there, some of the guy drove my car. It's just a whole different world.
Yeah.
And then I can let my guards down. And it feel good. Like when I first moved into the suburbs, I was kind of like nervous because I didn't think I was gonna be accepted, but now I realize I'm more accepted in them environments. I go back to the hood, a lot of people don't know me. It's mean mugging, it's aggression, it's a poverty-stricken mindset, and it's scary because I know anything can happen, so I try to avoid that. Even in the shop, we can tell with guys that's on it, that's on 10. So don't even have a conversation. Hey, how you doing, bro? God bless. Happy New Year. Because they own it.
Yeah. Have you
You
been
can sense it.
have you been to the Good Guys car show out there?
I heard of that.
Bro, you got to go to Good Guys. Good Guys is the top old school classic car show in the country. They travel all over the country. They have them in pretty much all the major states: Texas, California, Arizona. I'm quite sure they probably have something at one of the raceways out there towards you, racetracks or something. But
I heard of that.
yeah, Good Guys is
But
really
what
big. And then you're not too far from Detroit, so you
I
need to.
go there.
Okay, have you been to the Detroit Autorama?
I've been there, yep.
Okay,
And
okay,
the car show. And
yeah.
I go to the Dream Cruise also.
That's yeah. The Dream Cruise. Now, what about? I want to go out there. I haven't been to it, but what about the cruise in the Mississippi? That big cruise they got down on the coast. You ever done that one?
No. Mm-mm. I never
They
even
got
heard of that one.
they got one called Cruise in the Mississippi or something like that. But it's a cruise and it's all down the coast and it's really big. And then they got another one called Hot Rod Road Tour where everybody in the old school and they just driving across like the Midwest. Because the Midwest, where you at, they got a lot of old school people that are into NASCAR and stuff. So they're in a lot of classics.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on. But yeah, I had the best time. And I talk to a lot of those guys, country dudes. They like, man, where you from, man? Where you grew up? Because we've been
Right.
talking about. I'm talking about chassis. I'm talking about brakes. I'm talking about this. I'm talking
Right.
about that. And
Exactly.
we talking. And it's like, dude, it's a whole different vibe. And it's like you come to find out this dude's doing that, doing this, and it's like, man, you a cool dude, man. But it's like it's this conversation. A lot of people they have preconceived notions because what they've seen on social media or what they've heard, but they've never really even talked to anybody like you. So as soon as they start
Hmm.
talking, they're like, man, it's like you're different. You're not what I assumed. And that's the thing. We got to get past the assumptions.